Welcome everyone to Vibing Kingdom's Howling Abyss 5v5 tournament. This will be our first tournament in over 2 years. I am Arch Innocent, the server owner for the Vibing Kingdom Discord server, and I will be the tournament host this time around. For round 1 of this tournament, we have the Frogs versus Vibing Tiamat, and all of that will be explained in due time. Tonight we will have a matchup between these 10 players. Each roster of 5 comes from a different Discord server. The Frogs and Vibing Tiamat. The Frogs will be the away team, and Vibing Tiamat will be our home team for Vibing Kingdom's representatives. To explain what this tournament is all about, we will play in Howling Abyss. There's a singular lane, 4 turrets between you and the Nexus, and no recalls. In order to buy items in this game mode, you have to die. And so, Howling Abyss makes for an interesting dynamic that you don't see in Summoner's Rift. You can't recall, and it's often a bad idea to go without dying for too long. In addition, the format includes draft pick. You get to choose your champions, unlike an ARAM where you have to spin from a roulette of randomly selected champs. Additionally, draft pick means that you can ban your opponent's champs, and by banning, you can get rid of pesky picks that are infamous in ARAM. Finally, this tournament format is best of 2, meaning you will play 2 games no matter what, and the winner is whoever wins both games, of course, or in a 1-to-1 tie, whoever has more turrets alive across both games. Because of the nature of Howling Abyss, if you lose a game, you have no turrets left. There are only 4 turrets in the game, and they're all built in a straight line to the Nexus. Right now, I am getting all the players into our lobby and making sure that everyone is ready and comfortable as they head into the first game of this tournament. Since it's Howling Abyss, every tournament match shouldn't take too long. The average ARAM game lasts anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, 25 for the pretty long ones. Because of the nature of the map, there's constant team fighting, and certain picks are more powerful because of the layout. You can't split push, and you can't flank very easily, and so certain champs like to use this to their advantage. By the looks of it, we have 3 out of 5 for the Frogs, and 5 out of 5 players ready for Vibing Tiamat. Four out of 5 now for the Frogs. All of us made it to a complete roster for that team. I know both communities fairly well. Of course, I am the server owner for Vibing Kingdom, and I am friends with many of the Frogs. And so this is a competition between people I'm familiar with. I will give the Frogs a few more minutes to recruit their last member. And then, once everyone's in the lobby, I will have everyone type R in the chat to indicate they're ready. And if I count 10 unique R's, then we can start the match. One thing I'm interested in looking at is, well, of course, seeing what champs get picked. League doesn't have a game mode where you can play on the Howling Abyss map, but be able to pick your own champs. This map is exclusively a randomized draft map. And so how would things go if people got their way every single game? We are just biding our time here. Looks like all 5 are in the lobby. I'll now ask them, are they ready to go? Season 2025 of League changed a lot of things with the Summoner's Rift map. Not so much the ARAM map. We did switch from Bridge of Progress back to Howling Abyss, though. That was a pretty major change. The Bridge of Progress map was much wider. So far, I'm seeing 6 out of 10 players indicating they're ready. Let's give the other 4 some leeway before we start up this matchup. While we're waiting, I hope everyone's been having a good week. It's been super cold in the southeastern United States because of this winter storm. And it's created a lot of weather-related hazards like ice and snow. And of course, the southern United States is not the most familiar with receiving lots and lots of snow, especially around the Gulf Coast. I think earlier this week there was 6 inches of snow in Houston, Texas, I believe. And lots of snow in Louisiana and Florida, which, of course, it's not every day you get that. Seven out of 10. That's a lucky number. It's also a prime number. Can't split it up without involving a decimal somewhere. Again, we're just waiting for the last couple people to indicate they're ready. GreyMercury is the current lobby owner, and so it'll be up to them to press the start game button. Even I don't have that ability right now. In the top left of the League client, you see buttons for League, TFT, and Legends of Runeterra. I don't play a whole ton of TFT, and I'm not sure what this current set actually is. And Legends of Runeterra, I've never touched the game, being honest. I know it is a good source of lore. I've seen a lot of letter R's typed in chat. I don't know if we are all ready or if we're just posturing for our ult buttons later in this match. Since there was a new patch not too long ago, I think within the last 48 hours, some people might not have their clients updated. Just depends on when you played. I had to update my client last minute yesterday. I'm here hosting this event. I definitely enjoy hosting events, and I wish I could do it more often, but they're pretty difficult to organize, and of course there's time availability. One of my favorite parts of hosting events is seeing other people's strengths, and we're getting in game! And now we'll really see people's strengths. 27 seconds for this first ban. This is a little interesting, but I guess if you select the draft pick option in the League client, this happens. The first ban will be Yasuo. And now, the first ban from Vibing Tiamat in response will be one we're waiting on. Renekton has been removed. Alright. Both teams have postured and made their initial bans. Presumably these would be considered the most potent bans you make. What else will the Frogs ban? With Mel's release, there are exactly 170 champions in the game. And to reference how long they've taken to release, Jace was the 100th champion ever, and I believe he was released in 2013. And so about 100 champs were released from beta testing in 2009 up till Season 3. And the remaining 70 have been released in the past 12 years. We're now down to our final bans for this first set of rotations.
Never pick a fight you can't win.
Set's been taken away. Yasuo, Emilio, Set. All champs with knockups. And now Fizz has been removed, the third and final ban from Vibing Tiamat. Here come the picks from the Frogs. Talon's being hovered. This could be a Talon first pick, locking in AD Assassin onto the Howling Abyss. Ezreal instead has been picked. First pick Ezreal, the first champ of the entire event. In response, Vibing Tiamat has locked in Aatrox first, and accompanying him, the duo with Aatrox. We're eagerly waiting 24 seconds, counting down. Katarina's being hovered. She has been locked in. So Katarina, Ezreal, Aatrox. Interestingly, 2 of those 3 champs have no CC at all. And now the Frogs will get to reply with their next duo. Accompanying the Ezreal first pick, we will have our next champs. Amumu is being hovered. An engaged tank with lots of magic damage and a very strong ult, especially in this game mode where the map is so small. And Fiora is being hovered. Fiora in a solo lane is decent into Aatrox. From what I understand of this matchup, and I am not extremely skilled in top lane, mind you, but Aatrox's knockups being telegraphed can be countered by Fiora's parry, but at the same time, Aatrox can dash at the last second, and so can Fiora. At higher levels, I believe this matchup is all about the mind game, as are most melee v melee matchups in top lane. Wei and Varus get hovered. 2 long-range champions, 2 artillerists locked in for Vibing Tiamat. And now we're down to the very last picks for Game 1 of this series. Again, the format of the tournament is best of 2. We will have teams play 2 games against each other, regardless of the outcome of each. The winner who advances to the finals is the team that sweeps 2-0, or the team that, in a tie, has more turrets surviving. And now we have all 10 picks. On the Frog side, Orianna, Malphite, Fiora, Amumu, Ezreal. And then on Vibing Tiamat side, Aatrox, Katarina, Hui, Varus, Rel. Both teams have their strengths and weaknesses. And I'm excited to see how the fighting will go. Both teams have lots of AoE spells, and AoE tends to be pretty strong in a game mode where people are forced to clump together. And since we're a spectator, we'll have a 3-minute delay before we can actually catch up to these players. In the players' perspectives, they're already in the loading screen to load into the match. Looking at these 2 teams, I can definitely tell you what champs I play. I enjoy playing Orianna. She's personally my go-to pick in mid lane. I like her and Syndra, plus Twisted Fate. I also play a fair amount of Amumu. I enjoy engaged junglers, and personally, I am a Jarvan player. He is my 2nd highest mastery after Thresh. But jungle is also my most played role overall, so I feel more at home when locking in Jarvan. And Amumu fulfills a similar niche. He can dash twice with his bandage toss, which is a lot of mobility. Tanks in League do tend to be super mobile. It's not just champs like Cassante, but champs like Alistar. He's got a point-and-click dash. Malphite here has a pretty long-range dash with his ult, but otherwise he's immobile. You could argue Sion is also mobile because of his ult, although it's not as fluid as something like a Lucian dash or an Ezreal E. Rel's another champ with a dash, and she's a tank. On top of that, Braum can dash pretty far. So, tanks overall tend to dash a whole lot. And then looking at Vibing Tiamat's side, I play an okay amount of Aatrox and an okay amount of Rel. We're only 60 seconds away from the spectator delay catching up to the start of the game. We will see both teams load into the Howling Abyss once this delay finishes. At the start of an ARAM, many players will choose to walk towards each other in the area where the bushes are and just dance next to each other. In addition, many players will burn dashes or other spells as a sign of, this game mode is not very serious. And the format of this tournament was picked precisely to make it more casual and inviting. It's I would feel it's not as strenuous as a Summoner's Rift event. And now we're in game, or rather, we're in Champ Select. I'll show everyone the masteries of these players. For the most part, people picked the champs that they were comfortable with. And that goes for most things in League. Alright. So now, we're in game. Red side and blue side. Vibing Tiamat versus the Frogs. And the first item built by Fiora is Tiamat. Alright. Alright. Everyone's walking towards each other, and we have our first dancing. We have the Amumu, GoblinWaltz, recalling right now. And when you recall in ARAM, obviously you don't blink back to base. Once you finish the animation, your character just snaps to a regular standing posture. In addition, if you ping your recall in Howling Abyss, the chat, your name will be pulled up in chat, but there will be no text at all. You can try this yourself in your own ARAMs. Screen is black streamed. Ah, yes. That's because League is notoriously difficult. Oh, we got our first match, and our first blood goes over to the Varus on Vibing Tiamat. More fighting ensues, and I believe the cooldowns for both teams will have forced each other to back off. But yes, the screen being black is a... League is specifically very difficult. And we've got another fight going on. Rel has made an engage, but she gets taken down by Robes, the Ezreal on Frogs. And now Varus also gets killed by Amumu, who secures the last hit. Yes, League is very difficult to stream on OBS. For whatever reason, the client and the in-game menus are treated completely differently. And so in order to stream both, you have to do some streamer magic. Alright, both teams are now pulling off, and the first health packs have spawned. The Frogs all gather together, and they're all healed. So far, we have level advantages for the Frogs. And then Vibing Tiamat will likely catch up. And now all players are level 5, all 10 players. The rear health pack for Vibing Tiamat is alive. Same with the one for the Frogs. The Frogs currently have a push advantage. And looking at kills, so far only 3 across the entire map. 2 for the Frogs and 1 for Vibing. We have poke being thrown back and forth, and our match has slowed down a bit. Hui's got low mana, and so is Orianna. So the two mages don't have a whole lot of resource to throw around. So far, not a whole ton. The Frogs have managed to steal away a health pack and deny it from multiple members of Vibing. We've made it to the 3-minute, 38-second mark. And still only 3 kills. We haven't gotten another one since the first 2 fights. Of note, the Varus is building AP items. These are components of the item Nashor's Tooth. Oop. This could be an engage. The Fiora does get caught by a root, and a snowball has tagged her. No play comes of it. Hui flashes forward. Malphite also ults into the enemy team, and Orianna catches multiple people with her ult, while Rel replies at the same time. Another back and forth team fight, and now it's 5-4 in score. Both teams have secured 3 kills for themselves, so it is even, pound for pound. Rel is looking for more, running towards the Oriana, who has to flash away. She secures a kill, but then pays for it with her life and burns Flash in the process. Meanwhile, Varus is able to run away to safety, and now Aatrox has joined the fray and starts queuing, but he misses the Q3. He gets killed by GeneticIvy's Malphite, and Vibing back off. In terms of items, Fiora has completed her Ravenous Hydra, Ori her Luden's Companion, and Aatrox his Eclipse, along with Wei his Blackfire Torch. In addition, we have a Heartsteel Katarina and a Heartsteel Rel. And all this happens by the 5-minute mark of the game. ARAM does progress really quickly. If this were Summoner's Rift, your first items for snowballing people would probably be in the 11 to 13 minute mark. Alright, so far we have fishing for engages by the Katarina, who manages to proc a Heartsteel. Manages to proc Heartsteel on the enemy team. Ooh, Malphite is pinging when his ult will be up, and I believe that Unstoppable Force is ready. I don't believe the tower dive will be successful. And so the wave gets cleared without a fight being conducted. This next wave, depending on how it progresses, may be the team fight that we are looking for. So far, Vibing Tiamat's turret has lost about half its HP, and the Frog's turret hasn't lost any HP. The Frogs retreat to get a health pack. And now Vibing have the push. They control the bushes, importantly. And that's pretty big when you have champs like Rel. Ooh, Amumu walks forward. He might be looking for a multi-man ult. Rel W's backwards in order to get some safety. And Malphite Oriana get it again! 3 people caught by their ults. Katarina retaliates with an ult of her own, but there's lots of healing from the Fiora. Aatrox is trying to fight 5 people all at once. He manages to get one. He flashes away. Whole lot of people are low. And another person falls to the turret. Another person falls to the turret. The Frogs come out ahead, but Vibing also get multiple, and Vibing gets another quadra kill for the Aatrox. This turret right now has lost a lot of HP, but it's a very deadly force on this battlefield. If it had a KDA, it would be positive right now. It hasn't died yet. CaffinatedArtist flashes in, gets a kill as Hui, and secures another takedown for Vibing. Push comes in. But I don't believe Vibing will be able to get much from this. Their team comp is overall pretty short range. We have a root down onto the Katarina. Katarina gets a Heartsteel proc, and she escapes with a life, but does not ultimately in the end, as she is tagged by a snowball, and the sneaky projectile leads to her demise. Right now, almost every player is stuck in this health pack area. There's lots of roots going around, lots of projectiles onto GreyMercury's Oriana, who has to flash out of the Aatrox W, lest the W second half killer. And now the Frogs have a lot of low health bars. This health pack's going to alleviate that somewhat, but they still have not the highest HP bars. And Varus doesn't have a very high health bar either. And so we might know who the next people to fall will be in this match. Yes, I think the timing for the Oriana Malphite combo will be the biggest factor in this game. The Katarina goes in. Aatrox also goes in, and he's going in. He's pushing past the midline of the map. Amumu retaliates. Oriana ults, but without a Malphite to back her up. Triple kill for the Aatrox, who has attains level 10. 8 kills now. That's the most in the entire lobby, by double that of the second highest Fiora. Bowie has slain GreyMercury with his ult, and double kill goes over to the Varus. Vibing now have all 5 members pushed up against the turret, while Spore Frog is alone defending the turret for the Frogs. GoblinWaltz comes in. Amumu is feared, but he contributes to the takedown for Spore Frog. And now Red Team has destroyed the first turret. Hero is locked down, and Katarina falls. Spore Frog walks up, but Varus flashes in the way. GoblinWaltz is zoning back and forth, and now Vibing are on the retreat. Half HP bars on everyone, and low mana for CaffinatedArtist's play. This wave will get shredded, but another minion wave is coming for both teams. And so we might see another fight brewing real soon. Fiora's at half HP, level 10. Amumu level 11, highest level on his team right now. Rel is pinging, her ult is ready, and Varus ult is ready in 4 seconds. T-minus 4 seconds. Meanwhile, the Malphite ult was not used in that last fight, so it can be used in retaliation. Rel catches 3 people with the airborne and 4 with the ult. Malphite comes in, he hits 2 people, 2 more ults follow, 2 people get rooted, 2 people get ulted by Katarina. Aatrox falls and the shutdown goes over to Orianna. Here has slain GoblinWaltz, and Malphite might be next. He's running away. He's standing strong. He's holding the ground, and he takes down Katarina with the Ezreal's help. The Hui ult misses, and now Hui is low mana. Additionally, it is 2 rain squishies into the 3 members of the Frogs, and the 2 squishies will have to defend this turret. Rel goes in, but without vision, she misses the Orianna, and now Enchanter CEO has slain GreyMercury. Meanwhile, GeneticIvy on the Malphite has to fend for his life. He manages to secure a kill against the Varus, but meanwhile, his Darkened Buddy is rushing into the back of the Frogs, and GoblinWaltz suddenly is cut off from the Fiora, who is faring quite well against the Rel, who manages to run away, but there's a vital expose, and now the Amumu is dove under his own turret as GreenPizza walks out alive, having procced the Sterax and survived the turret shot. Now Fiora is still alive, but she's being hit for half her HP. She throws down the ult, and the duelist gets a kill. She might get another. She has to dash and flash away. She runs away. Hero gets taken down, and the Katarina falls. Buoy on the Varus goes away. He gets caught, though, by the Malphite, and Robe's last hits the enemy ADC on his Ezreal. Alright. And now the Frogs, making their own return push, managed to kill the first turret of Vibing Tiamat. Looking at this scene, there has been a lot of killing. We're now at 46 deaths in only 12 minutes. What started off as a fairly slow match, the 2-1 record I mentioned earlier has now exploded into 24-22. The absolute number of kills between each team, however, has remained the same at only 2. Spore Frog gets tagged by a stray snowball from Hero, and Katarina gets another kill. Rel is looking for an engage. She gets a W ult, hits the Malphite, and the Katarina follow-up doesn't do a whole lot. But with the minion wave pushing in, Vibing has the momentum, and the Frogs will clear the wave and look for their next opportunity to strike. Hero goes in, blinks in with the E, and then presses the R button, does some damage, blinks away, and then GreyMercury lives to tell the tale. Meanwhile, Hui is looking pretty low, and Amumu is getting closer and closer to those carries. Same with the Malphite, who has reached the carries and tags 3 people. Aatrox dashes away. He gets caught by the Amumu ult. The Curse of the Mummy slows him down. And then Aatrox goes back in, but he's taken huge amounts of true damage from the Fiora and lots of damage from the Ezreal. And now the Rel is the last to fall. Now Hero has respawned. The Katarina's job here is to clear the wave and maybe even get a return kill. The Heartsteel Katarina has a total 276 HP from stacking it. Now she has gotten the wave cleared, and the Katarina even gets a kill onto the Fiora, and the Malphite is looking a little worse for wear. Malphite has purchased Kanik Rukern first, and is now purchasing what seems to be components of Jack's Show. Looking at the other items. Oriana is looking for a death cap by the looks of it, having completed Storm Surge and Ludens. Fiora has Triforce and Ravenous, and has a component item for Death Stance. Amumu has Unending Despair and Abyssal Mask, likely to augment the damage from Ori and Malphite. Then Ezreal has completed Trinity Force and Muramana. Aatrox has finished Eclipse and Sterak's and seems to be working on Spirit Visage. And Rel goes in for a 3-person engage. There's a massive number of spells. Amumu replies with his own AoE spell, but it's not enough. He gets taken down, and the Frogs have to retreat. Rel is trying to chase this last Malphite. Bit of Malphite's HP, but it does not work. Fiora has been caught by the Varus' ult, and she gets killed by the Varus arrow. Bowie has slain Sporefrog. Now there's 3-2-2 between the two teams, and Vibing have the momentum. Momentum is super important in this game mode, strictly because you cannot recall. Malphite goes in, hits all 3 members, all 3 red health bars that he sees on his screen, and Oriana follows up and pokes down the Aatrox's shield with her ult. And now Aatrox manages to dash away from the snowball that may have secured the Frogs another kill. And Aatrox is joined by Katarina. The two of them are left defending this stray inhib. And now the fight is forced onto the Aatrox. Malphite is suddenly alone. Meanwhile, Amumu's clearing the wave. And Shutdown goes over to the Rel. Frogs are backing up to clear out the wave. And Vibing is looking to do the same. Both teams now, the Frogs do have a structure advantage as they have 1 turret defending their inhib, and Vibing have not lost their inhib. So far, the matchup is still pretty even. Only 3 kills separate the two teams, even though the number of kills has increased since the last time we pointed it out. Rel's going in for another engage. The riposte has gotten burned, and Amumu gets a stun onto 2 people. Rel gets a defensive ult, and the magnetism holds back the Amumu just long enough so that GreenPizza can get the kill. Katarina goes in again. She gets taken down by Robes, and now Vibing are on the retreat, waiting for the wave to come and assist them. Root comes down to the Malphite. We'll see how impactful that is. Bowie has attained level 15. The Varus does have his ult. He throws it out, and he catches the enemy ADC. Robes has been caught. Meanwhile, Oriana has caught 3 of Vibing. Rel has caught 2 of Vibing, and the Malphite has caught the Varus. GreyMercury has slain Enchanter CEO, while GreenPizza on the Aatrox gets a double kill and is looking for a third as he looks to slay the Malphite. I've been forced out of the game. And I know that this type of phenomenon happens if the game ends prematurely if you disconnect. I don't know if a whole lot has changed with the League client, although, of course, you know, the client being what it is, there could be a lot going on. I could also simply be reconnecting to this game. And personally, I was very invested in following the storyline that was going on. There's lots of back and forth, and importantly, there's a lot of picks happening on different sides of the screen. So typically, if something happens on the right side, there will be a counter engage on the left side. And so you would see that a lot, especially with Rel and Amumu. It seems that the match has ended already. Unfortunately, the League client has kicked me out, so I can't actually see the end of it. You guys do get to see the damage graphs, though. Always one of my favorite parts of ending a game is seeing the damage graph. Although, I personally, I don't play a whole lot of high damage champions. And so, I don't really get the glory of a damage graph. But I do like seeing the damage mitigated. I do like that. I play a lot of Alistar and Jarvan. Alright, with this match over, I am going to ask the players to describe to me how the end of the game went, because I obviously have no idea. I'm told I lost this game. I didn't know you could lose games as a spectator. But I apparently lost the game. Alrighty. I'll be taking a quick water break, and then I'll get the players in for their second match of the night. Again, this is a best of 2. Everyone plays 2 games. Winner is the 2-0 sweep, or the person with more turrets alive in a tie. And as we saw, both teams lost at least one 2 turrets, I believe, with the inhibs exposed. And so I'll ask the players what's going on. And in the meantime, I, of course, will be taking a water break. I'll now create a new lobby. And I'll get the players to join in. We will be switching sides. So last game, the frogs were blue side, Vibing was red. And now Vibing's going to be blue, frogs are red. Alright, I'm back from a water break now, and I will start recruiting the players to this lobby. I like to leave at least a bit of an intermission between matches so that the players can reset their mental. Whether you're winning or losing, it helps to go into a match with a calm mind. I've gotten the lobby assembled. And so we've got 5 of Vibing Tiamat and 4 of the frogs.
Did I interrupt something?
Ooh, I'm streaming a tournament. Hello there.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
No worries. Patiently waiting for all 10 players to be ready. I don't have to be very patient this game. We have our first sets of bans now. And, as it turns out, we only have 3 bans when you set it to draft pick Howling Abyss.
No cure for fools.
Yasuo gets taken away yet again, same with Renekton. Malphite has been taken away. He was a big playmaker in the last match, and it seems Vibing Tiamat have learned their lesson and have taken away that power pick from the Frogs. Varus gets taken away. Another power pick. He has been removed. And to update everyone, I've asked the players, the Frogs won game 1 of this series. I'll have to ask about turret score later. And since I wasn't an active participant myself, I'm unable to open up the replay again. We have Set B hovered on the side of Vibing. And Garen gets locked in first pick of this game 2. Alrighty. And now, because they're on red side, the Frogs get to pick the first duo. Both sides have their advantages and disadvantages, and one of the main advantages of red side is that they get to pick the first duo. In Summoner's Rift, this often translates to the bot lane duo. So if there's a strong combination like Caitlyn Lux, or Varus Tahm Kench, or Callista with, I believe, Thresh, then it would be smart to pick it here. Sejuani gets locked in, and Ezreal gets repeated. Next up, we see Darius, another AD melee champion. Another physical damage dealer with melee reach for Vibing Tiamat. And who will accompany the Darius? Noxus and Demacia. Victor gets locked in on the side of Vibing. And so Vibing have picked their mage. Both teams may be going for more balanced compositions this time around. Sejuani Ezreal, pretty defensive team. Lots of safety. Fiora gets hovered. I wonder if that will go to Spore Frog again, or if that will go to a different player. And Fiora gets locked in, confirmed. We have another repeat. And Cho'Gath is new. Another frontliner. Renata gets locked in. Mel is Hubbard. Not sure if both teams fully agreed to handshake the Mel away. We will see.